Have you been working in your coaching business for a while, but you still haven't hit that six-figure mark? Well, then stay tuned because today I am going to share with you 4 essential keys you'll want to incorporate if you want to finally make 6 figures in your coaching business. But first, I'm Jill Hope, and I help mompreneurs and women entrepreneurs who have tried every strategy out there and hired all of the coaches and still haven't made 6 figures a year in your business. So if that's you, stay tuned, have a listen, like this video if you like it, share it if you think it can help someone else, and please subscribe because there is more where this came from. All right, well, let's get right into it. What are these 4 essential keys that you absolutely have to incorporate into your business so that you can finally get over that 6-figure mark? The first one is decision. Decision. So many women do not make a committed, firm decision. Now, you might be thinking, hang on, Jill, I make decisions in my business all day long. But here's the thing, the difference between women who exceed that 6-figure mark in their business and those that don't. The ones that exceed that 6-figure mark, they are making a firm decision and they are letting nothing else get in their way of moving forward with that decision. The women who I have seen struggle, they tend to they think they're making a decision, right? They've fooled themselves into thinking they're making a decision, but they don't stick to it. They allow themselves to change their minds all the time. They don't see it through until they get to the completion point, until they get to the goal. And that is the biggest problem that I'm seeing. Even in the word decision, if you look back to the root of that word and its original meaning, it means to cut off. That means you're cutting off all other options when you make a decision. That means you're not going back on what you said. You are following it through until you get to that end point. So a question you want to ask yourself is, have you actually made a decision to hit the 6-figure mark in your business? Have you decided that? And if you have, are you taking the steps that you need to take to get your business there? And that's an honest question. And I really want you to look at yourself. And I'll tell you, for years, I always had it in my head that, oh yeah, like my business will, surpass the 6-figure mark and go way further than that. But I had noticed that I hadn't really made the decision. And I didn't even know that I hadn't made the decision until someone called this out to me. So I'm calling this out to you. Have you made that firm decision? And I want to give you an example too. I was talking to one of my clients the other day, and she's got a big event, or it's actually a program that she's trying to fill. And she has had a firm goal in mind, a decision as to how many people she wanted to enroll in that program. And she's really close. She's 2 people away from hitting that goal. And she said to me the other day, Jill, do you think I should just stop? I mean, my program starts in 4 days. Is it really worth me? I feel like I'm beating a dead horse in a way, is, continuing to promote this to my community. Should I just stop since I'm so close and I'm really happy with the number of people I've gotten into the program? And I said, well, what was your original decision? Did you, what was the number you wanted to hit? And she told me, and I said, well, since you haven't hit it yet, and you still want that, you still want to hit that number. And she said, I absolutely do. I said, then you can't stop. You've got 4 days, make the most of those 4 days. You'll never know who shows up in the 11th hour when you continue the promotion to the end. I have seen that so many times in my business, I can't even count. People come in at the, literally in the 11th hour, sometimes overnight when I sleep, when I said, it's going to close, and then I get someone in a different time zone that slips in there while I'm sleeping to meet that deadline. It happens all the time. And many times when I am filling a program and I'll look at who signed up, and there are names on there that, like, I swear they've never opened another email, of mine before. And I've had people tell me that too. They've said, I don't know why this is the email I opened. And then they opened it, signed up, and boom. So to quit on yourself in the 11th hour is you're quitting on that person, that client who was only going to see you in the 11th hour. So we want to make a firm decision and then stick to that decision. See it all the way through. Go to the 11th hour with it. Take it all the way to the end, and you will start achieving more of your goals, and you'll get yourself to that six-figure mark. The next key to hitting that six-figure mark in your coaching business is focus. Focus. This can be a tough one, especially if you're a mother, right? If you're a mom, there's so much going on. You have so many balls in the air. How can you focus on your business at certain times, right? It gets crazy. I am a mom too. I started building my business when my son was 5 years old. It was a challenge. I got to tell you, there were times that it was very hard to focus. But here's the thing. You've got to know what your top priorities are, and they have to get your top time and attention no matter what. And that means that sometimes you've got to say no to things that might sound really cool or really fun if they don't fit into your top three priorities. In fact, speaking of your top three priorities, that is something that I will have a lot of my mompreneurs choose, especially when I see that they're struggling a little bit with focus. And so we'll narrow down into what are the absolute essential top three priorities that if you achieve these three things in the next year, you're going to feel really accomplished. You're going to feel really happy. And then we set up her life so that those things are scheduled first, so that things that are getting her closer to achieving those three priorities are tended to. And then if there's extra time, she can fill in her schedule with anything that is not in the top three priorities. But it's so essential to focus on the things that are most important to you. And I strongly believe in writing these priorities down, making it clear to yourself, putting notes around your house with your top three priorities. That sounds a little crazy, but I have had people who have sent me photographs of sticky notes all over their house. Now, I'm not saying to wallpaper your house in sticky notes, but what I am saying is visual reminders are powerful. And when we're making a change, we do need to see that visual reminder to keep us in check and to keep us focused. The more focused you are, the more quickly you will get to your six-figure coaching business. All right. So essential key number 3 is to stop listening to the voices of self-sabotage. Stop listening to the voices of self-sabotage. What are these voices, Jill, that you're talking about? Well, that's a great question. And I actually have a free gift. It's hot off the presses. It's my free ebook, 8 Surprising Reasons You Have Not Made Six Figures in Your Business Yet. And I talk in great detail about these 8 voices of self-sabotage. The link's down below. It's completely free. Go ahead and grab that. That will definitely give you some deep insights into what's going on and what's holding you back in your business. But in terms of these 8 voices of self-sabotage, at a high level, what this is you know how you've got your self-talk, right? We all have self-talk that's running in the background of our minds 24/7. And one of the things that I noticed when I hit a particularly difficult time in my business, where I almost quit actually, and I talk about that story in the ebook, is I noticed that there was this commentary that was running in the background when I was going to make certain decisions. And you know what I'm talking about. I know you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you're going to start noticing it now. When you make decisions to do certain things, you're going to hear a voice or voices that will not sound very inspiring or very supportive to you. They will say things like, well, you've never done that before. What makes you think you can do it this time? Or the last time you did that, that didn't work. Why are you even considering doing it again? It's these voices that come from our conditioning, our past conditioning, and they are designed to keep you in check. Now, why would we have voices that are trying to keep us small and keep us stuck? That wasn't the original intent. The intent of the subconscious mind, where these voices arise from, is to keep you safe. But what the subconscious mind does not know is it is just running a program, okay? And it's getting triggered by certain events, and the events are things that threaten your ability to stay within certain boundaries that your subconscious mind perceives to be safe for you. And if you do anything that will extend you beyond these boundaries of supposed safety, it's perceived safety, it's not true safety, but perceived safety, then your subconscious mind goes crazy. These voices get really loud. And 9 times out of 10, women listen to these voices and they stop and they don't move forward. So the key is to stop allowing those voices to have a say in the boardroom of your business. And instead, you want to listen to your authentic voice. Your authentic voice is aligned with your purpose. It is aligned with your higher self, with your soul, your spirit, and its job is to guide you to live a life that is on purpose for you, that is expansive, that represents growth in your life and not contraction and not stuckness and not staying small. So you want to start noticing what voices are going on in my head when I'm considering moving towards my bigger dreams, and choose not to listen to them and start tuning more into the voices of your authentic self. So that's key number 3. Stop listening to those voices. And key number 4, to finally get to the 6-figure mark in your business, is to lead from your vision rather than your fear. Lead from your vision rather than your fear. When we make a decision and when we focus and when we are not tuning into the voices of self-sabotage, we are allowing the vision to lead us. We are listening to the voice of our authentic self. We are committed to our decisions and we are focused on what is most important to us. And that will get you over that 6-figure mark. But what happens so often is fear creeps in. Doubt creeps in. A lot of times that does come from those voices of self-sabotage that I mentioned. When that fear is able to get your attention and get you to notice it, what happens so often for women is they put their vision to the side and they focus on the fear. And a lot of times the fear is cloaked in guilt or in shame, or, that's what moms are not supposed to do. Moms are supposed to do this. Moms are supposed to do that, but they're not supposed to have successful businesses. We're not supposed to put ourselves on that priority list, right? And so fear can come in, the fear of, will this mean I'm not a good mom? What if I lose connection to my child? All these crazy fears that aren't going to happen and don't happen. And I want to say that when you are aligned with your purpose and you are listening to it and following it, you are doing a huge service for your children. In fact, my son, he actually wrote one of his college essays on what he learned through the experience of being a child of a mompreneur. And it was an amazing essay. It brought tears to my eyes and it went over really well because he learned a lot. He learned a lot of positive things that he is now living his life by. He now follows his heart. He is strong in doing what feels right for him. And he's very confident in that. And that came because I modeled that for him. I modeled what it looks like to listen to your heart and to go for your dreams. So if you have any of those thoughts around, well, this is not what good mothers do, or this is going to harm my children, it's actually the opposite. You're actually giving a powerful lesson to your child in how to listen to their own inner compass and be confident in it and follow it. So those are the 4 keys that you must incorporate into your business if you want to finally get through that 6-figure mark. I mean, life changes in dramatic ways when you have a stable business that can support you and nurture you and help you say yes to all of those dreams that you have for yourself and your families. And that is what I want for you. And these 4 keys, when you start to incorporate them, will absolutely help you. And if you want more, definitely grab that free gift. That's going to give you more insight into what's really going on behind the scenes in your mindset that may be holding you back. So check that out, the links below. Be sure to like this video, share it, and I look forward to seeing you back here for another video real soon. Bye for now.